Helluva Boss, an independent animated TV show created by Pop, also the creator of Hazbin Hotel, which isn't independent but still considered a very large milestone in the independent animated community. Helluva Boss is a very unique show in that it's not exactly kid-friendly. There's tons of swearing, tons of adult humor, and honestly, I love it. Although it has its flaws, it's still a great show and you should definitely check it out if you don't know what it is. Although, I do have to warn you that there is a lot of adult humor and swearing, so if you don't like that stuff, I wouldn't recommend it for you. I'm gonna go through the entire show in this video and just give my thoughts on bits and pieces, basically like a review, but not exactly reviewing it. And then at the end of the video, I'll talk about the new stuff we got and the new stuff that was teased in the trailer we got not too long ago for episodes 8 and onward. Now, there are a few main characters, the names being Blitz, Moxie, Millie, Luna, Stolas, and a few others. Now, the person that's focused on the most is Blitz. We get the most depth into his background and past and stuff like that. Blitz, Moxie, and Millie all run a business where they are hired by sinners, which, you know, the story takes place on Hell, which you should probably know unless you haven't watched the series. But they are hired by sinners to kill people in the alive world or overworld, I guess. I'm not going to talk about the pilot because the pilot's not canon, but episode 1 is just Blitz, Millie, and Moxie running a mission on Earth. We also get to see the relationship between Stolas and Blitz. It's not exactly love, and it's more like just pleasure and all like making out and stuff like that, and more stuff, but I don't want to get this video taken down, so just deal with it. It's very clear that Blitz doesn't exactly like Stolas that much, but also does like him enough to stay in this relationship because he needs this special book from Stolas, who is considered royalty in the Hell hierarchy. Yeah, there's a hierarchy in Hell. This book allows him to go to Earth to carry out his business and stuff like that. The next episode, episode 2, is about Blitz and his gang protecting Stolas while Stolas takes his daughter to an amusement park. Here we find out that Stolas is actually married to another person and had a daughter with that person, except they both hate each other and are apparently, I think, divorced or not. Alright, I don't really know. The wife in the situation, not the daughter. That would be weird. Get to see a little bit into Blitz's background and how his name used to be Blitzo, but he got rid of the O. So get to see a robotic version of someone he hates. His name is Fizzerali, and the robot of him also hates Blitz. Episode 3 of season 1 now consists of Blitz confronting one of his exes. Again, we get to see a little bit more of an insight to Blitz's background and his character as a whole. The next episode is about some heaven stuff, some cherubs from heaven trying to ruin the business that Blitz has going on, and they fail. The next episode is about the Harvest Moon Festival. We get to see Millie's parents, and we also get to see a new character named Striker. Now, Striker is a fan favorite among the community, or at least was a fan favorite. I'll get into that later once I go through it in the show. And a bunch of cool stuff happens. This is honestly one of my favorite episodes from season 1, maybe my third favorite, only third to the last 2 episodes in this season. Next episode is called Truth Seekers, and this episode focuses and reveals that a government-like agency on Earth has been tracking the IMP business, which is what the business is called, and it is trying to catch them, and they do in this episode. And a bunch of fight scenes happen, which are honestly really cool. I really like the fight scenes in the show, and are unsuccessful. Stolas is able to bail out Blitz, Millie, Moxie, and Luna, and overall it's a pretty decent episode. The next episode is about Millie and Moxie going on a date while Blitz is jealous and tracks them down, inviting Stolas to go to the same place they are going to spy on them. Stolas is oblivious, however, thinking that Blitz just wants to go on a date. Here we get to see the real Fizzerali, or Fizz, the character or person that Blitz hates the most, apparently. So we get to see one of the 7 deadly sins, the lust. Now, if you don't know what the 7 deadly sins are, let me read you off something I found off Google. According to the Roman Catholic theology, the 7 deadly sins are the 7 behaviors or feelings that inspire further sin. They are typically ordered as pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, sloth. Now, the sin of lust's name is Asmodeus. Asmodeus and Fizz both are seemingly in a very lust-driven relationship, which is proven later in the show not to be true, but whatever. Now, here Blitz is confronted by a lot of his past, and obviously Blitz doesn't really like that. When Stolas tries to comfort him, he pulls away, saying that they should probably leave. Millie and Moxie are also having like a great date and whatever, but nobody cares about that. Anyway, the next episode is a more of a special or celebration of Helluva Boss's popularity, and it's just like a bit of a background into Luna as a person and stuff like that. Nothing too important, but also one of my favorite, if not my favorite episode out of season 1. And that concludes season 1. And honestly, great season, definitely would rewatch it. The show fight scenes are honestly top tier, and I couldn't ask for any better. Setup for Blitz being a very complicated character is beautiful, and I really like him as a character. So slowly get to see Stolas trying to help Blitz more and more, and how Blitz just pulls away more and more. And you also get to see a lot of this in season 2, which I will jump into right now. For that, however, I do have to ask you to subscribe! All jokes aside though, subscribing can really boost my channel and help me out, and I also have something funny planned for when I reach 1,000 subscribers. Anyway, let's continue. The first episode in season 2 is a mostly flashback driven episode going back to Blitz and Stolas meeting when they were children. However, towards the end of the episode, we get to see Stella, Stolas' wife, and Stolas having an argument on a balcony. Now, Stolas demands that they get divorced right now, and I guess they weren't divorced before, and Stella says that the Arish-Goisha family, which is the race that Stolas and I think Stella are, will not approve of this. And one of the hardest scenes I've ever seen in an indie animated show played out. I'm just gonna let it play out for you.
What do you think the rest of the Goisha family will think? And I
don't care what your arrogant brother thinks. And the only thing the Goisha family wanted from our marriage is already 17, so it's over. I'm done.
So yeah, pretty cool. On to the next episode. This episode is about Octavia, or Stolas' daughter, going off to go see some shooting star stuff that, or either saw spheres or something, that Stolas promised that they would go see a while ago, but then forgot because he was getting divorced with Stella. The next episode goes more of a deep dive into Moxie and his family background. Now, his family is basically a mob or mafia. His dad being the head of that mafia, his mom being killed by his dad, supposedly. There are theories that she's still alive, but that's not important to this video. Anyway, we get to see a bit of a background for Moxie, and the next episode is about Stolas getting captured by Stryker back from the Full Moon Festival. Now, normally, Stolas won't be in any danger to any normal blade or weapon because he can't be hurt by those. However, there's a metal called angelic steel that can actually hurt him. Stryker has a knife that is made of angelic steel and starts torturing Stolas because Stella told him to and hired him to do so. Blitz doesn't really think this is a big deal and goes off and vaccinates Luna, while Millie and Moxie go save Stolas. Now, Stryker was kind of made fun of in this episode and beaten down, and I guess he's not the cool guy in the fandom anymore, but I don't really care about that part, so I'm just gonna move on. Anyway, the episode ends with Stolas being rushed off to a sort of hell hospital, with Blitz realizing that Stolas could actually get hurt. I guess he's always seen Stolas as a type of person that could never get hurt and someone he'd never have to really worry about. The next episode, Happy Campers, is about Millie and a little bit about Moxie and a little bit about Blitz. And honestly, it's my least favorite episode because I could barely watch it. I didn't like it at all. The only thing important about this episode is that Millie gets a bit of character development and Blitz meets his sister. The next episode is called Oops and is about Blitz and Fizz both getting kidnapped by Moxie's dad and Stryker. While they escape, they also talk about their past and make amends and become friends again. And now the most recent episode, Iman's magnificent musical mid-season special. This episode mostly again focuses on Fizz and his relationship with the sin of greed, also known as Mammon. Basically, the entire episode just explores Fizz's relationship with Mammon and how he is kind of worked to death by Mammon. And eventually, at the end of the episode, he gives up Mammon, flips him off, and walks away. And that's pretty much it, or at least all we have right now for Season 2. Now, Season 2 is honestly a really good season. It breaks a little bit away from Blitz and focuses a bit more on Millie, Moxie, Fizz, and new characters and stuff like that. I honestly really like it. I like Season 1 a bit more, but that's also with half the season gone, so I don't really know. So now on to the trailer that we got not too long ago. Now, the trailer hints at more episodes, and the episodes are called Full Moon, Apology Tour, Ghost Effers, Mastermind, and Sinsmas. The closest episode to releasing is The Full Moon, which will explore Blitz and Stolas' relationship and will probably end up with them breaking up at least temporarily. Despite this episode being delayed to a week from now, I honestly am really excited for it, and I'm pretty sure the hype hasn't died down at all. I'll make a video on it, and I'll also make videos on the rest of the episodes as they come out this year. Again, make sure you subscribe because it can help you stay posted on all the Helluva Boss stuff I will be eventually making. I also make Murder Drones and Amazing Digital Circus stuff, so if you like that stuff, also consider subscribing. Like the video if you actually liked it, comment down below anything I missed, stay tuned, and I'll see you next time.